Hello and welcome back to another Indie Sunday. This week we're going to be playing, or more so reading, Peculiar Tales of Mid-Lake Pavilion. The English translation of the game might be a bit iffy, as you can already see by the missing you in continue. It's always a bit of a bad start when the menu entries are already wrong. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it on Indie Sunday, because the game is essentially a collection of short stories. I think there's 5 or 6. And normally, I mean, if I had confidence that it's going to be great, I might just do that as a short playthrough, during a regular project. But because I'm not sure, we're going to be reading through one short story today, and then we'll see. I could also totally imagine, occasionally coming back to it on Indie Sunday and reading another one if I really enjoy it, which I'm not sure I will. But that's what this series is for, isn't it? Try weird games, try games that you might not usually play, and then see if they're good or not. And I guess we're just gonna start. That was in late August, before the summer heat faded. For some reason, the air conditioner in my house failed. It was too hot at home, so I paced to the nearby garden to get rid of the heat. Speaking of the garden, it's a famous one built in the Ming Dynasty. Hidden in a deep alley with few tourists, the garden is a perfect place to relax. The lake pavilion in the middle of the water is a very famous design. I often take a rest there. Sitting in the pavilion to feel the silence of the garden, no matter how hot the weather is, people will feel cool. I walked through the winding corridors on the water to the familiar lake pavilion. A peony-shaped lantern is placed on a carved stone table in the middle of the lake pavilion. In the dim light, a man in primitive clothes is sitting at the table. He accosted me as I approached. It's really hot tonight. Yes. You are correct. It was hot and humid by the pool, and there was no night breeze. The sweat on my forehead kept running. Somewhere he pulled out a kettle and 2 glasses. Can I treat you a drink, if you don't mind? He asked as pouring water. Oh, thank you. You're here to wait for someone too? No, my air conditioner was broken and I was looking for a place to spend a summer night, so I came here. After drinking the tea, the feeling of tranquility spread over my heart, and miraculously I no longer felt hot. I don't think that's how drinking a hot beverage works. This is homebrewed mint tea. I'm glad you like it. In midsummer, cicadas waxed and waxed in the trees by the lake, and frogs croaked from all directions like an ensemble concert. I stared at the peony-shaped lamp on the table in a daze. Oh, that's me. You're wearing something that makes me feel like I've gone back in time. I laughed. Are you aware of it? In fact, I'm a storyteller from ancient times, and it is fate to meet you here tonight. He replied jokingly. Really? Perhaps when you walked into the pavilion, you came to another world. Perhaps such incredible things happen occasionally in this world. Does it? In a modern society where everyone lives by the rules, people don't really believe in the unthinkable anymore. If you really claim to be the ancient storyteller, I will only try to believe it, but I cannot believe it. What? How can the weird phantoms be treated with common sense? Buddhism likens the world to a dream, a mirror. If you believe that this moment is real, then it is real. He brushed up his sleeves, folded up his fan, and tapped its handle on the table. Bright moon is in the sky, and the evening wind is blowing gently. If you don't mind, I have some stories to tell you before waking up from the dream of butterflies. Alright then, I'll listen. I sat upright. The night is long, and it must be a very pleasant thing to sit here listening to stories. Living in this boring world, I want to believe that there are wonderful things, if there is even a chance. I can choose the story, okay. There's 6 stories with differing background music. There's Wedge, there's Ratman, there's Ghost Pagoda, There's Mirror Room. There's Xiangxi Bridge. And there's Midsummer Night, Last Subway. Let's do Mirror Room. The hero lived in a murder room because of lack of money. A rainy night, his college roommate came to spend the night. Mirror illusion, inner entanglement. Unpleasant memories of the past gradually make the atmosphere strange. Right. Go on, tell me that story. Sir, believe me, I killed the same guy twice. No, I should say the two guys I killed are the same person. Please pardon me, but the experience these days has made me so confused. Anyway, please go to the construction site I mentioned where I buried the body. What, you already sent someone to look into it? No, please, take a more careful investigation of it. By means of patrol dogs or any other technology. Yes, because patrol dogs are technology. The body must be buried there. Or could it be? Sir, did you ever for a moment doubt the authenticity of this world? I'm about to tell you something I have not mentioned in my confession because it is so strange that no one would believe it. But now that I was a condemned man in chains, almost dead, I had no will to invent wild lies. If you will listen to me, promise me that you will hear it out before you judge, no matter how absurd it may be. It all started on that rainy night 2 months ago. It was 1 o'clock in the night and pouring with rain. Although it was late, I wasn't sleepy at all. Or I should say, late night is my most mentally active period. I'm a worst-selling painter. You should also have heard that creators are always the most active thinking in the late night. To put it straight, it is just an abnormal schedule, turning the nights to days. That night, paintbrush in hand, I fought hard in front of the canvas on my computer screen. The idea came slow that night, and the work didn't go well at all. It was gloomy, and there was always an unknown hunch over my heart. Suddenly, there was a dull knock on the porch door. Who would show up on a rainy night like this without a rendezvous? It's so rude. I grumbled and angrily opened the door. It was my college classmate, Shang Feng. He stood awkwardly outside, wet from the rain, which pattered along the legs of his trousers. Hey, Shang Feng. Excuse me, Hui. Can you let me stay for one night? I'm sorry, I have to work tonight. What does it matter? I won't bother you. But before I could finish, he walked in. He's been like this since college, taking advantage of my weakness. You work overtime again today? Yeah, going back at this hour will disturb the baby. He flung himself onto my bed in his wet trousers. Wait, baby? When did this guy have a baby? He even didn't let me know, let alone invited me to the new birth party. Well, maybe he just doesn't want me to know. Hey, the mirror is still facing the front door. Is there any problem? It's not good with Feng Shui. You should hang it somewhere else sooner. You're being superstitious. Don't you think this room is a little weird? Let me have a look around. No? I mean, I do kind of agree that the positioning of the mirror is a bit weird. Like, why would you need a mirror there? But other than that, not really, no. You even hang scissors here? That's creepy. Oh, those are scissors. Okay. Creepy? Don't be so troublesome. I would agree that it's a bit weird to hang scissors there, because it is also just out of reach. Like, sure, you can go there and grab them, but, you know, usually you don't just hang scissors on the wall. He moved his eyes to my desk. Still working? You got a big deal? Well, yeah, I might not make it if I don't stay up late. Yeah, it's hard for you, I get it. He knew I was a late sleeper, or he wouldn't have come. You want to make a fortune by painting, then move to a bigger house and find a lover, huh? Yeah, would it interrupt your sleep if I paint in a room? What are you talking about? We were roommates. I've been used to your painting till dawn every day. Painting till dawn? I've never done that. Life has changed completely because of... Well, I'll take a shower. You go back to work. Alright, thanks. He left my room to take the shower in the communal bathroom of the house. His proportions seem weird. He seems way too small for the bed. Like, assuming that bed is about 40 centimeters in height, he'd maybe be like 120, 130 maybe. That's why it's just, yeah, the proportions are a bit off. And that closet looks like it should be about 2 meters tall. Which also just doesn't fit. The proportions are all kinds of odd. I walked to the mirror, which he scolded, and it reflected my tired face. Is it so weird, as he said? This antique mirror was hung here when I moved in. It was disturbing to see at first. But once I got familiar to it, I always felt uncomfortable removing it. According to the landlord, the previous owner of the room was a typical nightbird like me. One day he committed suicide in this room, supposedly with an eerie expression on his face, as if he were relieved from something. As he had no friends, no one knew he was dead. His body was rotting away in the summer heat. It wasn't discovered until a tenant next door smelled it. When I was hunting for the house online, I saw comments that it was a cursed room. People who live here are going to die. It is fake to say that I'm not afraid, but the rent of this room is really too cheap. For me, who even had a problem with my foothold in society, having a shelter from the wind and rain is a luxury. In addition, it is difficult to generate any income from the paintings I draw. It's too difficult for me to earn money to exchange a room. Or maybe I should go back to my hometown after a while. I looked to the scissors next to the mirror. The landlord told me not to move them. I don't know what special meaning it has. I never touched it except when I opened the Express occasionally. Maybe it's used to ward off evil. As I pondered these things, the door creaked open behind me. It is Shang Feng who has finished his shower. Somehow he was frowning as if something was bothering him. Not until he went to the bathroom. I think something's wrong with him. How many bathrooms does this house have? Just one. Only one? It's kind of weird to have one, he muttered to himself. Is there anything wrong? I don't know, but there must be something wrong. Forget it. I have to work tomorrow. I'm going to bed. The rain pattered against the window, and the shadows of trees flickered eerily on the wall. The room was quiet except for the sound of my paintbrush scratching on the digital pad. Is it because of men's pathetic jealousy that my heart cannot calm down? It was too embarrassing. Yeah, he's got kids. My ex-girlfriend is a mother now. This man's wife is my ex-girlfriend. Yeah, I gathered that. My ex-girlfriend and I met during the art training in high school. She's understanding, beautiful, and intelligent. A very attractive girl. In those painful days of preparation, she and I supported and encouraged each other and went through the college entrance examination together. In a way, our relationship was beyond love. But I was clumsy and did not know how to please girls, only devoted to painting every day. Although we went to the same university, our relationship grew apart. Zhang Feng, a glib, pretentious, and flamboyant man, you have a very high opinion of him, I see, quickly captured her heart with the rental car and his fast food knowledge from the... his fast food knowledge. Yeah, because that's what the girls are all for. Fast food knowledge. Alas, but who should be to blame? When she came to the period, I only told her to drink hot water, but Chang Feng ran to her dormitory, took care of her. So if I were her, I probably can't tell who's more hypocritical between Shang Feng and I. It would be fine if Shang Feng was a man of integrity, but what I can't forgive is... Shang Feng was such a playboy that the pretty girls in the department were deceived by him and all his fast food knowledge. The more I thought about it, the more I could not calm down. The fingers holding the paintbrush trembled slightly, and the lines on the screen became crooked, as if they were a reflection of my heart at this moment. There is no way to continue painting. The colors are wrong and the human body structure is wrong as well. I'm so hungry. I didn't eat much today, and I don't have any money for meals tomorrow. My whole body aches. I feel like my body and mind are broken. It's raining outside my window. Damn it, I hate rainy days more than anything in my life. I'm looking at a painting that deserves to be thrown in the trash, just like my life. Where did my life go wrong? It's Shang Feng's fault. I don't think so. Isn't it because of Shang Feng that I am like this? Yeah, if so, it's the man's fault that I'm in such a mess. How could I have fallen if this man hadn't robbed my love? I can't spend another second with this man. It would be alright if this man disappeared. Well, he must have fallen asleep. Strangle his neck now and let him die. Just as I was about to touch his neck, Shang Feng's mobile phone on the bed lit up. Looks like a new message. After a brief glance, I found it seemed to read, "My husband is away and you can sleep at my house tonight." Such words. What's going on here? Let me have a look. Ah, wait, I get it. At this moment, Shang Feng suddenly sat up. I backed away, lost my grip, and dropped the phone on the floor. Hey, what are you doing? What is going on here? Never mind, it doesn't matter. I was just thinking about it, and I finally figured out what's wrong with this room. Do you mean how everyone's melting? He made a weird look. Has the layout of the room changed? Uh-huh. Last time I was here, your bed was on the other side. What are you talking about? This is where my bed's been, isn't it? It's the wrong name here. No way, I remember it very well. He got up from the bed and looked around the room at the furniture. And not just the bed, the furniture in the whole room has been repositioned. He stared hard at the mirror behind me. Right, except for the mirror and the door. They remain in the same position. The whole room had been turned left and right along the central axis to which they were connected. Your computer was on that side, the cabinet was on this side. Yeah, they are reversed like in a mirror. I listened to him with my head cocked. I just thought he was still in a dream. It was probably a sleep talk. I didn't move them. That's how the furniture has been laid out since the day I moved in. And what reason would I have to move them? What about sleepwalking, for example? Do such things unconsciously? I can't do this on my own. So, it's a burglar? Also, by the way, he's grown about 20 centimeters since the last time. That's even more unlikely. Why would a burglar move furniture? Yeah, that's right. He seemed to calm down a little and began to look down in thought. Everything was quiet except the sound of rain outside the window. At this moment there was a muffled thunder in the distance. Is it raining hard? Shenghui, I think something is wrong. I'd better go out and find a hotel to stay in tonight. That would be a good thing. Sure, there should be plenty of hotels around here. Yeah, I don't feel very comfortable here. I'd better... Shit, what the hell was that? What? Don't you see? There was a man standing on the balcony. The balcony? The balcony's empty. Can't be. Who's hiding there? Get out. Hello? Hello? I looked sideways from the balcony. No one. See? I told you. He walked angrily back to the bedroom. What happened to Shang Feng? So paranoid. You're not messing with me, are you, Xinghui? You moved the furniture on purpose and tried to scare me? Don't be silly. Why would I do such a meaningless thing? To get back at me. Why should I get back at you? Because you hate me, so you want to see me embarrassed. I know, you still hate me. You still hate me for stealing your girl. That's what a narrow-minded man like you would do. I get it. You and my wife are working together to fool me. Why do you think so? Because you found out I cheated on her. So, what I just saw on his phone was... You're married, but still unrepentant and still doing this? You know why I stole your girl? Because you're so pure. You seem to think that love and art are enough for your life, but my life has been empty. Empty? A man like you is empty? Yeah, people who are spiritually rich have a hard time satisfying their desires. Ironic, isn't it? But I found a way to fill the spiritual emptiness. That's taking your love away. I can't get enough of it. What? You Everyone has a different lifestyle, and mine is all about thrills. Well, you should be ecstatic right now. There's a lot of thrills that are gonna happen to you. Actually, did you really think she'd stay with you if I didn't take her away? Have a dream? Women like a guy who thinks big of his stupid painting. A stupid painting? There was a buzz in my head. Look at yourself. You're still living in a shabby room in this age. I actually always thought you had no talent for painting, and it was a waste for the tablet and the computer. Before he finished, I picked up the scissors next to the mirror. I stabbed him in the neck. Blood spurted out. After losing the girl I loved the most to you, the only thing that kept me alive was my paintings. As I said this, I stabbed the scissors hard, again and again. Why? Why? His body struggled unconsciously at first, but soon became motionless. Why is it that scum like you can live decently while I become an out-of-touch loser? The scissors ended up in his chest, and he wasn't moving at all. His face was writhing in pain, his eyes still staring at me. You deserve it. You deserve it. I lost my mind for a moment, lost in an illusory emotion, feeling like I was something else, unable to move physically. It took me a long time to recover. Oh, he shrunk again. And he's very small. What have I done? The room was red with blood. There was blood everywhere. On the bed, on the walls, on the desk, and on the cupboards. I need to find something to wipe it down. That's gonna be difficult. Damn it, the next door didn't notice the noise, did he? Sound installation is very poor. Leaning against the wall, I listened quietly. There was snoring from the next room, and he seemed to sleep soundly. Very good, fortunately he went to bed early today. And let me get rid of the body. I packed the body and the scissors in my suitcase, taking out the towel he had used that night and carefully wiped every spot of blood in the room. Blood, like watercolor, is hard to clean up after it dries. Very carefully, I cleaned every piece of blood. Where should the body be hidden? Throw it in the water? No, it might float. Cut it up and throw it down the drain? I don't have the guts. There are construction sites all around, so why not just bury it in the ground? Construction sites pour cement into the soil to make foundations. The land will be filled and hardened with cement to form a hole. By then, the body will be sealed in concrete forever, hidden from anyone. That's a good idea. Without delay, I dragged the trunk with the body in it and went out. The apartment I live in is a self-built building in the urban rural fringe. The corridors are dark and dank. Dilapidated lights are spotty. Wires and broken down bicycles lie shattered across the curb. I dragged my suitcase through obstacles, and although I was careful enough, I tripped on a wire under my feet. Damn. I don't know why to stretch the wire. The suitcase with the body slipped out of my hand and crashed to the ground with a thud that would surely have been heard throughout the flat had it not been the pouring rain. Just as I was congratulating myself, I heard the sound of the door opening. The landlady leaned out of the door. Sheng Hui, what are you doing out here so late? Why is the old woman still up? I go out to pick up a friend. She looked me up and down. I saw her suspicious expression and I couldn't help sweating. The landlady's a talker, and if she catches me here, it's over. What should I do? Kill her too? But what if she shouts in the corridor? Won't the whole hall be aware of it? I just heard what sounded like chopping upstairs. Was it from your room? And that room, as you know, is a little peculiar, so if you have any problems, you can tell me. Hey, why don't you answer me? What's going on? Excuse me, I'm in a hurry. Can you save this for another time? Sorry, maybe I heard it wrong. Do tell me if there's any problem. Be careful. I walked quickly away, her voice muttering behind me. I'd definitely call the police if I saw something like this. On careful listening, she seemed to be chanting some kind of incantation. Om Padma Hum. I remember. It's the Guanyin mantra. Forget about the old lady. If she says anything, I'd kill her too. Besides, she wouldn't know exactly what happened. Yeah, he's a totally reasonable guy. Mist rose from the road. I guess God is helping me. If the rain washes away the traces, what I've done will never be known. I was struggling along the road, moving my heavy suitcase. Arrived at a construction site where the foundations had not yet been poured. It's a good place. It can be inferred from the already poured foundation that the next place to be poured. There were only empty village houses around, and no one would know I had been here. I stepped over the fence and walked in carefully. It's better to follow the main road, where the footprints could get covered by truck tire tracks. I followed the poured foundation into an empty field. Start digging here. I picked up a shovel that lay on the side of the construction site. Just dig with it. The deeper, the better. I didn't know how long I've dug. My spirit was reaching its limits. That's about it. I climbed up the deep pit. Opening the trunk, Shangfeng was still lying inside. Wait a minute. It's a little weird. Was he lying like this? When I put him in, he lay there with limbs bent and his whole body in an arch. His hands are now on his head, which is drawn unnaturally towards his center of gravity. It's just a matter of detail, though. Maybe I just remembered it wrong. I dragged Shangfeng to the dug hole. Go to that hell and repent, Shangfeng. Why don't you join me? The moment I threw him down, as if Shangfeng's voice mixed with the sound of rain spread over. Come on, he's dead, isn't he? Impossible. I must have heard the hallucinations. I stabbed him in the throat and he couldn't have made a sound even if he had survived. I turned and buried it back. It's okay. No one will find it. Shangfeng will be sealed with cement, buried forever in this place. On the way back, although I was very tired, I still could not calm down. Did I really kill Shangfeng? I always had the illusion that Shangfeng might still be alive. Is it possible that Shangfeng climbed out of that pit? If so, will he retaliate against me? Just like I did to him, he's gonna stab me in the neck with a pair of scissors? No, he's a vindictive man and he'll kill me in ways I can't even imagine. Just when I keep thinking about it, a figure with an umbrella appeared at the end of the road. That is clearly Shangfeng's figure. Shangfeng? Shangfeng back from the dead? Just when I recovered and wanted to take a closer look, the figure disappeared again. Was it a hallucination? Damn, I can't stay here any longer. I started running down the street. Everything in the street makes me feel bad. The strange tree shadows, the endless road, the cold rain made me feel very heavy. I'm gonna lose my mind if I stay here. Home, I have to hurry home. With heavy steps, I came to the door. Take the key out of the pocket. Open the lock. Wait, my heart is beating so fast I can't slow it down. I got a weird feeling. What's wrong? Oh no, the room's been flipped. I entered the room and the strange feeling is even stronger. Where is this? Is this really my home? I instantly captured the source of the strange feeling. This is really my room. But along the central axis of the mirror and the door, the room layout flips left and right. What the hell is going on? A prank? No, in such a short time, no way. I felt the world spinning around. Is there something wrong with the world or with my brain? There was another knock at the door. Who is this? Could it be the police? I decided to pretend that I wasn't at home. Just in case, I picked up the scissors next to the mirror. Wait, the scissors? Why are they back by the mirror? Forget it, it's not the time. At that moment, there was a creepy voice outside the door. Hui, are you home? It's Shangfeng. What the hell? You are home. I looked him up and down. No wounds. Why? His neck was so smooth that there was no sign that I'd stabbed him with the scissors. Why? You look like you've seen a ghost. You... By the way, can I stay at your place today? I get it. You're a ghost. You've returned from hell to avenge me. On me. What? You're drawing too much. Don't fucking lie to me. I already killed you. How much do you have to look down on me? So, for the second time, I killed the man. Sheng Hui's trial came to an end temporarily, and all the police were in a fog. We've done a lot of weird cases, but nothing like this. His confession was so vivid that anyone who listened to it might think it was true, but it was just too bizarre. First of all, Shang Feng in his confession said he had a child, but actually Shang Feng has no child now. Of course, the most ridiculous is that there are two Shang Feng in the confession. If we post Sheng Hui's experience to the Cape Forum, perhaps it will become this year's the hottest post. Based on his confession, we did a bottom-up dig at the construction site he was talking about and found nothing. Archaeological equipment was even used to scan the foundations, to no avail. I looked at the sky outside the police station window and carefully recalled Sheng Hui's confession. Is it possible we're digging in the wrong place? Oh, the mirror. The weird mirror. It's a keyword that appeared in his confession. The mirrored room. That rainy night, he buried the body back to find the pattern of the room has reversed. If that weird mirror, with some mysterious power, is responsible for all of this, so when does the reversal happen? Would it be when he went out, he was in a mirrored world? That is to say, thinking of this, I opened the map. Could the location of the construction site also be mirrored? Connect Sheng Hui's confession to the burial site with his house, and then extend the same length. The pen landed at another construction site. No way. There happened to be another construction site at that place. Coincidence? Tell the squadron leader at once. Days later, through the unremitting efforts of the Criminal Investigation Brigade, a corpse was really dug out in the underground of that construction site. The corpse was highly decomposed, stabbed multiple times with sharp objects. So, who was the body? I'm also waiting for the report from the Institute of Forensic Science today. The mirror room finished. Sir, why did you end up in... That's us, I guess. Sir, why did you end up in suspense? Because I heard it from a friend of a friend, and I don't know the exact result. Sorry. Damn you! I want to know the exact result. However, I came up with another interesting story. Oh? A man who has a successful career and a happy family often feels doubtful about life. He must have experienced that life. The world and the universe are all unreal for a moment. Then one day the man, struggling with his thoughts, realized the source of the abnormality, the lamp beside his bed. He bought the lamp himself, but the ray of that square shape, the warm color, was so strange, or I should say it's weird for the man. He began to stare at the lamp all day long, no longer took care of other things. He skipped work at the beginning and resigned directly later. It would be useless to let his wife, friends and colleagues dissuade him. No one knew how long it had been before the man suddenly woke up. The world was all his imagination. Then in that moment, with the desk lamp as the center, the surrounding scenery began to fly quickly. The man woke up from a strange place. The body turned into another person. It turns out that the man was unconscious in a car accident. The moment he was carried into the ambulance, he imagined a complete life. So it was all his dream? Yes, it's a dream. How can anyone dream that long? Can you fully remember your dreams? Of course not. So, how do you make sure you didn't have a lifetime-long dream one night? I'm speechless. What is real? It's a wonderful world. I looked at the lantern in his hand and felt dizzy. Okay. That was a cool story, I guess. The English didn't distract too much from it. I still don't really have much of a clue about what on earth is going on. I mean, I understood the part where the mirror, mirrored the world, and then he went to the construction site on the other side of town that didn't match up with his description because it was mirrored. The whole world was mirrored, not just his room. I still don't quite get most of the rest of it. But anyway, I think that's kind of like a norm with short stories anyway, especially kind of like mystery or short stories. But I did enjoy it. definitely. So maybe I'll read through one again at some point in the future. Although I don't know if they all are that kind of theme. I don't think so. But yeah, definitely. Let me know if you enjoyed it as well. Let me know your weird theories about what happened and that. Thanks for watching Disney Sunday, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.